Hi, my name's Adam. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us today. Today we have an exciting guest, and I'm really excited about this because the people that we have on the channel today are people that I looked up to. When I got into the kind of the YouTube space, I did a lot of research to figure out like how do you do this right? How do you kind of build content, build a community, all this kind of stuff. And Brandon Beavis was definitely at the top of the list in Canada. He provides great, valuable content in the investing space, DIY investing, specifically dividend focus, and that's kind of what drew me to him is, I love the kind of the value dividend focused approach, and he follows that. So I had the privilege to sit down with Brandon and his dad, Marc, who's joined his channel about a year ago. And, Marc was in the financial planning space like myself for about 25 years. So he kind of, was in the similar space that I was. We just took some time and just kind of chatted about investing, planning, where the world is, and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed something a little bit different than I've done in the past. So if you have questions for us next time we get together, put those questions below and we'll make sure to answer them in the next time we do this. So welcome Brandon and Marc to the channel, and thanks for joining us. So thanks for having me by here, guys. But I just want to talk about like the transition. So a lot of our viewers come to our channel for the financial planning, but a lot of people I talk to obviously on a daily basis is DIY investing. And I think a lot of people, and I talk a lot about this, is they've gone from that mutual fund system that they pay a lot for and they're getting nothing for, and now they're on the DIY system. Yeah. And I think there's this planning model in between that a lot of people need to kind of step back to as they get closer to retirement. But on the DIY side, a lot of people go there with no knowledge of investing. They don't know what they're doing, but they want to save fees, which is fine, whatever. You'll never convince them otherwise. But that's why I've partnered up with these guys on the Investing Academy. So if you haven't joined the Investing Academy, we'll put a link below. But these guys have created like hundreds of hours of content on how to research companies, find companies, invest properly, all that kind of stuff. So it's a great resource manual. So if you're looking to get into DIY investing, check out the Investing Academy because these guys will get you started. But they had me by today by their office, and we thought we'd just kind of talk about the transition of kind of planning, DIY investing, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for having me.
Well, it's awesome to have you here in live and in person for the first time we've met, although we've collaborated and worked together remotely. But it's nice to have you here. But and I'll just sort of kick it off. When I started in my career as an investment advisor, mutual funds were king. Yep. And there were a smattering of ETFs, but back in the day, the ETFs were basically index ETFs. And now there's a whole myriad of them, and there's actively managed, and there's all different types of strategies that are used. For those of you talking about fees, the default commission when you bought a mutual fund back in the day was 9%.
Yeah, crazy. And that's out of pocket up front.
That's out of pocket.
That's not like 9% a year. It's like, you give me $100,000.
Yeah.
I'll invest your 91. Yeah. And I'm going to pocket the 9.
Yeah. And then of course you have the monthly fees. So I spent my career managing investments, and it's easy to slam mutual funds, and I think it's actually appropriate. And I feel bad saying that because for so long they did provide a solution for a lot of people. But we all evolve. The industry has evolved, and I don't see today why anybody, and when I was working actively as an advisor, and if someone would come in with a $1 million portfolio with $800,000 in mutual funds, it would almost make me sick because I felt the advisor who was selling them the mutual funds was being putting their own interests ahead of the clients. Yeah. And thankfully, there are a lot of tools that have been developed in the last number of years that sort of resolve that. And so you talk about DIY. I'm not necessarily a only DIY person either, because there's a lot of really good advisors out there, and some clients, I believe, should be working with an advisor. But if you are someone who's interested in learning to do it yourself, well, that's kind of what our channel is all about. Yeah.
The other thing with the Investing Academy that I've found since joining here with you guys is you're going to learn how to pick stocks and invest and just enhance your knowledge, which is what these YouTube channels, our channel. And if you're not subscribed to Brandon and Marc's channel, we'll put the link below. Make sure you subscribe. I'm sure you guys already are. They got like 200,000 subs or something crazy like that. But why we partner with them is kind of get the education. We want to build a platform where you'll get the financial planning, the investing, all that kind of stuff. But the Discord chat is a great one, and then you put your trade calls on there, which is great to see. So every time Brandon, adds to his portfolio, that's on there. Here's what I bought. Here's why I bought it. There's research that you guys do on there, but it's also a great place to just chat and ask questions about what you're looking to buy. So if you're a DIY investor looking to go that way, to me, the Discord, you can, the education piece is phenomenal, obviously, but the Discord to just be able to walk through that process is phenomenal.
Yeah, like it's crazy. That alone, I mean, I know there's a lot of different services out there that people can choose from, like this service, trade calls, newsletters. And like you said, just having a community to chat with as a DIY investor, it's so crazy how often people will say, well, I'm trying to learn this investing thing. I'm trying to learn how to do the stock market, but nobody in my immediate circle does this.
Yeah.
My family doesn't do it. My friends groups doesn't do this. They know it's something that they want to do, but they just literally are not surrounded by the people that speak this jargon or even thinking the same way they are. So like you said, that's honestly just the tip of the iceberg, but just to be in a community of people who are legitimately living and breathing and talking this, not necessarily saying that you're some sort of expert and like you're talking in all this crazy stuff. Like you could literally be a first-time investor learning with other first-time investors and asking the beginner questions. But the term DIY, do-it-yourself investing, it kind of inherently makes you feel like you're going to be on your own. But that doesn't need to be the case.
Yeah.
You can be a DIY investor with a lot of other DIY investors all kind of learning it as well. But on
the Discord community, there's a whole bunch of new investors asking questions and throwing out ideas, but we're there to sort of, keep the, if there's something that's blatantly we would disagree with, or, certainly if it's dangerous, we're there to moderate that, if you will. Yeah. Not to censor people, but just to provide clarity. And we see that all the time. And, I think back to when I started in my career and, easy to look back now and say, wow, you're dangerous back then, because you'd learn a few things and you could implement those things without realizing how they affect other parts of your life. And a really important thing as far as the Discord community is concerned, in my opinion, because I'm kind of more of I like watching things, but I'm not always a contributor. Mm-hmm. A lot of people go on and they watch and they read and they learn that way. You don't have to go on and start emailing or adding to the conversation, but we have a number of students who are phenomenal. First of all, they know what they're talking about and they're so willing to share.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you can get both sides. You can get people that just like intake, and eventually they might, spit out some stuff. And there's different categories on the Discord too. It's, there's real estate and stuff. And again, we're bringing the planning into the Discord as well. So if you have questions around planning, I think a lot of people, again, I talked about in the video we did for you guys' channel, is a lot of people don't want to pay or can't afford to pay for the advice. So for $20 a month, you're getting a ton of education and resource and all that. But it's also a place where you can come and ask questions, and I'm on there, right? I can answer your questions as best I can, and it's a place that I've committed my time to. Whereas on YouTube comments, try our best, but we get a lot of comments, and so it's just
the bots will reply you.
The bots, you can't keep up with the bots.
WhatsApp this number,
yeah, exactly. Well, I had someone actually just the other day say, "Hey, I WhatsApped this number, and it was weird that
was I talking to you?"
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa!" Like I thought I made it clear already, but like I will never. Yeah,
astounding how
it's sad. Like there are a lot of people that fall for it. I had a friend who I went to high school with. My old basketball coach got hacked, and they posted a big Bitcoin thing all over his Instagram. I made this much money doing this. Contact here, and one of like my teammates fell for it and gave him Bitcoin, and then my coach paid him back because he felt bad. But you can only do that to so many people. You got to be careful, is what it is, because they can be kind of sneaky. Logically, Adam won't ever be requesting you to send him Bitcoin and promising all these things. Like one thing I really. And again, you guys, if you've been watching me on my channel, it's like why we even collaborate with Adam is that we understand that making money is not an overnight thing. It's literally a process that kind of happens. Like you just got to keep doing the right things and you will do well over time, right? Not necessarily saying that just it's easy, but we have this understanding, being in the professional space and working with clients, that true wealth just kind of like it's a long-term vision. Mm-hmm. And if someone's saying that you're going to make 100 Bitcoins overnight, kind of goes against what we believe.
I've done plans for clients where it's like, I'm getting 17%.
Yeah.
Year over year, I'm like,
yeah.
There's probably a lot of risk. They're like, no, we trust it. It's like a real safe thing in Toronto or whatever it is. And then we had one actually that a month later we were just ready to deliver their plan and lost it all. So if it's too good to be true, and that's where I think a lot of the thing, like there's a lot of bad content on YouTube, anywhere online. You have to be careful, and that's why we partnered with these guys and other content creators that have the same kind of mindset, but provide good quality value. Like, where do you go? Like, people always say, like, who can I trust? Who do I go to? How do you do that? And, hopefully this is a good means for us to build trust with our viewers, but also partnership with people that, that I trust. Like, I trust you guys, your research, what you guys are doing with Investing Academy. And that's why I say to our viewers, if you need help with this, like, there's no better place than the Investing Academy.
And that's why, like, I said it when I made our big announcement back in the day. It was like, there's very few channels out there that I believe are focused around education. Like, I know people hear me talk about the Investing Academy and they're like, oh, he's just pushing. I push it because I really do believe there's good value there. Like, to the point where you probably should invest $19.99 a month in yourself, because I guarantee you will find some piece of info that will make you much more than that. Much more than that. But why, our channel, like for 3.5-4 years, was structured around education and just legitimately teaching people and talking about stock ideas, talking about stock market basics. And I think that's what really grew the loyalty within the subscriber base. Now we have a program which you can take it a step deeper, but Adam's channel is very much like, I immediately resonated with that when I started seeing his stuff. He pops up, he's making a name on the scene. You were legitimately putting education first. And I'm sure your audience knows that. It's like, sometimes it's like so much education. It's like, what do I do with this? But there's no question that your channel has been revolved around that. And that's something that I see very much eye to eye with.
Yeah, I mean, we started this channel not... Like, a lot of people start YouTube channels for money.
Right? To make a bunch of money because it's easy.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy to build a channel. But, I was in the business for 16 years or 15, 16 years at that point. I had a business. I had a great business. Yeah. We actually came to build our masterclass and do YouTube to help educate our clients. We felt like during COVID, we weren't meeting with our clients. It's like, how do you provide value and keep educating them? So this was our means actually to help our clients. Then we had one CPP video, hit the algorithm, as they say. And then here we are. So I think, 1 year ago today, I think we're at like 2,000 subs.
Ooh,
so yeah.
I remember that. I remember chatting with me and Adam, we've been chatting for what? A year and a half, like quite a while.
You're at like way over 100,000 at that point.
So like you were really just getting off the ground. And then
YouTube is funny that way, but your point there, Adam, is the reach that you can have, whether it's for your clients or whether it's for potential clients or people. I'm amazed with 180,000 subscribers that we have. 99% of that or more is it's free content. People tune in, and that's kind of what YouTube. I don't know if it was started for that, but that's what I use YouTube a lot for, trying to learn how to fix things or.
Well, absolutely. Anything in life. If you have to fix something, where do you go? It's YouTube.
To YouTube,
right? Fix your retirement, your day one investing. YouTube.
Yeah,
so be careful who you listen to.
Be careful who you listen to, and like you sort of said, Adam, there's a lot of bad information, and I feel for people who are trying to discern, are these people legitimate, or really importantly, do they know what they're talking about, and what are their motivations? And I've always believed in, when Brandon started this channel, or his channel a few years ago, I remember talking and sort of strategizing, and it's way easier to get subscribers by being sensational or, getting eyeballs on the screen. But my counsel was just build something that it's legitimate and you can be proud of, and it's information that will be valuable for years to come. But you make your own decision, and he chose to. I remember, I was being a little bit skeptical at first. It's like, okay, but I started watching your early videos.
That's good advice.
It's like, wow.
When you raise a kid, you don't I'm going to raise a YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm going to raise a YouTuber, a gamer or a YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so it worked out well, and it's proven to be, I hope, and most people watching. Not everybody. There's always the doubters, but most people would say, you guys know what you're talking about. And one of the reasons that we wanted to partner up with you, Adam, is because when I watch your videos, and I got a lot of gray hair. I've done what you've done, and you can tell it's very good, solid advice. So we're really happy to have you as part of the academy. Totally.
And just to tail off what you're saying, I don't know if you're noticing it, but if you watch the YouTube community right now and other channels, a lot of them that did that kind of short term. Blow up with the hype stocks, blow up with the pandemic. I mean, they did very, very well, and it's tough when you're looking around. You're seeing all these channels like literally blowing up. And then they blow up in a bad way, because a lot of them are literally dead.
And their views are down right now. Across Canada, US. If you kind of follow any big finance channel, especially in the States, views are way down now. But when views go way down, if you're one of those kind of hype channels, they just drop off the map.
They're dropping off the map. And that's one of the things, is that whether views are up, whether views are down, I know we're going to be talking about stock market content because that's what we do. Mm-hmm. And I know Adam's going to be here trying to help you guys better your retirements and your planning, because that's literally what he does. That's what his business is surrounded on, versus these guys that just pop up here and there in the past year or two. And now they're just on to the next thing. I mean, that to me is a very clear way of saying, well, who's in it for the long haul and who's not.
Yeah. I really don't watch a ton of YouTube content in our space, but I try and expose myself to various creators, and I don't like to pick on people for sure. But there's I don't even know the guy's name, but I watched the video a few months ago, And the topic was like my 5 biggest mistakes I've learned in my first 6 months as an investor, or something along those lines. And it was like,
I actually don't. So, okay, let me
talk about that, because to me,
in my opinion, there's 2 types of channels. There's the types of channels like hopefully we come from, where literally like you've been licensed for, well, not anymore licensed, but you've been working with clients for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
I got licensed back in 2014 or 2015. Obviously surrendered that, but we're trying to come from a stance of education, right? From literally being there. Again, my father more than I. But then you also have channels of people that are documenting their own journeys, and I'm completely okay with that.
Okay.
So for someone to say, listen, I'm going on this journey. My goal is to retire early. I'm going to be an index investor, whatever the case is, and this is what I'm learning along the way. Like, I'm completely on board with that, because it's a lot of people can resonate with that too. You know, someone in the field learning, but I don't like it when there's someone inexperienced trying to pretend that they are experienced, because there's a lot of there can be a lot of misinformation in that case, and it can honestly lead to a lot of bad stuff. But I do kind of just like section off those 2 types of people.
Well, and I will say this is a perfect reminder, I guess, of the synergies you would say with the younger investor or YouTuber, the older guy.
Yeah.
Because when Brandon started working with me, he thought everything I did was wrong, and I thought everything he did was wrong. And then you kind of learn it's somewhere in the middle, always, right?
Yeah.
And thankfully you're a pretty quick learner, so the curve was quick. But no, I hear your voice and the different opinions, because we differ on a number of things.
And I think it is good, because like the whole point of this partnership really is what it is, and teaming up with you here on Parallel Wealth and us, and then whoever we have down the road that does kind of, again, all fit in with our end goals. Like, it's to provide different opinions and different viewpoints and different voices, all on a similar goal, right? And like, Adam, as you and your audience know, like, you guys specialize in planning and getting prepared for retirement and a specific niche, but they do go hand in hand with stock market investing. I mean, you have to earn a return, and
you have to invest to retire.
You have to invest to retire, and in many cases, you would be looking at the stock market. So there's still an end goal. We want you to retire with more money. We want you to be more comfortable. We want you to have more money at the day. It's just that having different perspectives, actually, like synergies is the right word, is that they work. And, I spoke to you about this, Adam, and I spoke to actually a number of other people that were, trying to build this network with, is why are we all fighting for our own?
Yeah.
There's X amount of views out there, right? There's X amount of eyeballs. And instead of everybody saying, come watch my podcast, come do this, it's like, why not create one central place where we are all supporting each other and all referring, and it's basically a network effect where you come here, and whether you need this wisdom, whether you need this advice, whether you need this, we got the people for it. And then that's, again, like I've said it on my channel a million times, but I'm so excited to be working with you, Adam, because it's a wealth of information that I'll be the first to tell you I don't have, right?
One thing, like if viewers are wondering, like, why did I team up with you guys versus the other hundreds of people out there doing this? I've said this from day one. Most people, 99.9% of people on YouTube are not licensed. So they're giving investment advice and they're not licensed. Now, I understand both of you are not licensed, but both of you have been licensed and have been licensed for a very long time. So when you're investment licensed, you can't really go on YouTube and talk about it, because the regulators would just shut you down so quickly. Yeah. So the fact that these guys, have gone through the training, have lived, done the business for 25 plus years, that's why I partnered with them. For me as a financial planner, I can come on here, I'm not investment licensed, so I can come on here, I don't talk about investments, but I can talk about planning because I'm licensed to do that. And, but again, I have to be careful what I say. I have a regulatory body that breathes down my neck on a daily basis. So what I say on YouTube is actually monitored by regulators. Yeah. Any investment advice out there really is not regulated on YouTube. Well, that's where you have to be careful.
It is. And like I said, I think that it I guess shouldn't be a standard, but at least showing some credibility that you've got the knowledge on the back end. It's just, to me, it's a backwards system, because like, for those that don't know our story, when I started my YouTube channel, I was working here for my father, licensed. I don't know how old at the time, but I got my license at age 20, and I had to suspend it to make YouTube videos. Yeah. So basically the governing bodies and the brokers that we were working for basically said, like, you can't post this content without us screening every single word and approving every single script you write and every single thing, because we need to make sure that it is 100% compliant ready. And that's just realistically, it was a nightmare. Yeah. It would not have been
unworkable.
Right? Unworkable. It's unworkable.
I just did a video with Chris Richard at BCV Asset Management, who's one of the portfolio managers that we refer to. Yeah. And anytime I bring him on, it's like, here's the script, here's the PowerPoint we're using. Yeah. Here, like the compliance is off the chart, and that's good. That's, as a viewer, that's good for you. Like, that's a good thing, but it makes it tough on your guys' side, and that's where, like, you guys are in a very unique situation, especially you, Mark, where you kind of look like you're in retirement. Yeah. But you're doing this and just sharing your knowledge and experience. So.
Well, yeah, and there's a big part of me that would have loved to have done both, to continue to work with certain clients and do the YouTube. But yeah, you say it's unworkable to do that. And as you know, so when I decided to retire, and you know, this opportunity to work with Brandon was there. I know a lot of people, I think they think it's so amazing that you get to work with your son or with your father in an environment like this. So it made that possible. The oversight that we have in the industry is very, very important. Most of us in the industry, or previously, would say it's probably too overbearing. It's very costly to consumers, to the advisors, etc. But it can't be the wild, wild west. What we talk about is way too important.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to see it. Easy for me to see, I guess. If you want to have a YouTube channel, you have to at least have had X number of years of licensed experience or something along those lines to sort of maybe suggest that you have a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows? Right?
And there's some big channels in Canada that, you know, they're CPAs.
Yeah.
Or CIMs, and like there's Plain Bagel's one of them. Felix.
Yeah,
Ben
Felix.
Yeah. So these guys are professionals. Like, look at the credentials these people have. Now, again, they have to be careful, and I'm sure the regulatory, like they're passing everything they say through there too.
Yeah.
But again, look at who you're hearing from, and whether they're currently licensed or were previously licensed and have the experience and have been through the trenches with clients. You know, and again, going back to that's why I partner with these guys, and that's, you know, who you guys are bringing on in real estate and all that. And again, allow you guys to just, honestly, for $20 a month, try it for a month. You can cancel anytime. Try it for a month, and I guarantee you, you'll be on there for many, many months because the content's just endless.
Our plans are continually to add content. You know, like
We're building out right now a GIS module. Yeah, GIS, one on CPP and one on OAS. So that education content that we're building in our office is going to be on the and only on the Investing Academy. So
that alone is worth the $19. And that's just, again, a snippet of what's on there. It's really fascinating because it's hard for me to like fathom how much is included that it probably doesn't even get displayed properly, right?
No,
like I can't put into words. Like, I'd encourage people to just take the leap and try it. And like you said, you cancel any time. We even have a 7-day refund policy. So it's like you literally click it and you're like, this is just silly. Then you just get your money back within 7 days. But it's more than just like, we could just say all these different things. It's just like, if you guys resonate with kind of what we do and you believe it, that we are here to help you guys be better and increase your financial literacy in all different regards, I'd say try it, but I mean, you can make your own decisions, but
I have to sort of add as well, and I've had a Netflix subscription for a long, long time.
Are you one of the 200,000 that's canceled though? Or are you guys sharing in password?
They're cracking down. They're going to crack down on us.
I pay. So all I know is I get a bill every month.
Brandon doesn't.
And I've heard comments to the effect of, well, gee, I can get a Netflix subscription for that price or whatever. And I say, yeah, there's lots of things you can buy for $19.99 a month. And I'm not a huge movie watcher. I have a Netflix.
You fall asleep.
I use it as a sleeping aid. But my point is that you can get some joy and some escape from watching movies, but they're not going to create wealth for you. So there's price and there's value. And I don't put a lot of value on watching a whole bunch of movies. But if you can place value on having financial security or learning how to invest or learning how to save.
There was I forget what it is, but it's like on the Government of Canada website, or someone does a poll or basically of like consumer spending, and it breaks down all the categories: transportation, housing, alcohol and beverages, like whatever the case is. And there's a piece on there for education, like what do people spend on a monthly or annual basis on their education. Like outside of if you go to college or something, it's like, it's laughable how much.
Zero.
It's pretty much literally zero. Like people literally spend more money on wine and 6 packs of beer than they do on their financial education. Is that not weird? It's just a flip in the mind to say like, hey, I can enjoy this bottle of wine for $20.
Buy a cheaper bottle of wine
and just
and
actually make yourself more money. Like, and actually put yourself in a better position down the road.
Well, I think there's a lot of free education. Like, all YouTube is for education. So I guess you said it earlier too. Like, if you enjoy what we're doing on our channels, if you want to kind of take that to the next level and get a deeper dive into content, like that's the Investing Academy.
And great point, because there hopefully is an entertainment value to what we do as well. You can watch it
We should share the screen of Brandon's entertainment here. You got Lego all
around the office here. Brandon has a Lego addiction. Compulsion, I guess is the right word to say, but
yeah, that's fair. And it's but anyways, what you were getting at, maybe to kind of wrap things up, is that we are I say we, and we're basically a network now. Parallel Wealth, BBI, we are really trying to build this network effect of people. We are always going to be producing content for you guys. That's what we've done for years. That's what we're going to continue doing. And it's literally to help you guys out. There's no cost to subscribe. There's no cost to drop thumbs up. We mention these things because for the 1 or 2% of you guys that are watching that say, well, I do want to make this change. I do want to increase the literacy. Well, there's a very clear path. And hopefully it's at a price point that is manageable.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you're wrapping up. Last point on that, because there is a lot. Yeah, you'll hear the argument. Well, everything you have on your courses is for free. When I started doing YouTubing and had to learn how to do my video editing and what have you, because I do that myself, I do. And so I use DaVinci Resolve. Well, there's a billion videos on how to use DaVinci Resolve, but there's also, for a reasonable price, you can pay a fee that will guide you through step by step, so you're not wasting a whole bunch of time. Yeah. And so it depends what value you put on your time in some respects, or your sanity, because you watch 30 videos on the same thing and you got a lot of viewing about it.
It's a great point. And I think there's just some people, and again, I don't mean to bash people, but some people's brains just don't like. Some people think that just because they think one way, that's how everyone else thinks. Oh, yeah. And just because you're someone at home that has hours upon hours to scour the internet and go through the Reddit forums and learn investing on your own or learn planning on your own, well, good for you. And maybe you're one of those people that the course is not for. Yeah. But there are so many people out there, which I'm sure you guys with your your professional experience, there are people with families, there's people with jobs, there's people with all these different things that tie up their time, that they value their time, and they say, hey, I have X number of days or X number of hours in the day. I want to learn something in this thing, or I want something compact. I want this in front of me. There's so many reasons why somebody would want a structured training program. Some people just don't see that, and those are the ones that will bash a training program. But again, it doesn't matter. Like, people can bash whatever they want, because there are people that we are literally helping every single day, and those are the ones that we're really talking to at this point.
And you can access this on your phone, like the program that we have it on. Like, you can have there's an app. You can pull up the education. You can just learn it.
Tablets,
it's great.
But if you are watching a course in Starbucks, please wear AirPods or earbuds. Don't just blast it.
No, blast it. I think it's good. It's good marketing.
I suppose, but man,
it's over there.
People are playing there. I think of Coca-Cola just came to mind. You talk about a lot of people will never buy Coke. You see Coke ads all the time. And I always marvel at how these huge companies continue to advertise. Everybody in the world, there are 2 billion servings of Coke a day or whatever the number is. Why do you have to continue to advertise? But they do. It doesn't mean that everybody who sees that ad is going to go out and buy a Coke. No. Most won't. Many won't, right?
So Tesla, I know we're recording this now, it'll come out in a few weeks. Tesla just came out with their earnings, and I don't know if you saw, but the day after Super Bowl, sales spiked. They didn't have one Super Bowl ad. But the traditional car automakers did.
You know how
people are seeing those saying, I don't want that. And they're buying Tesla.
Well, I'll tell you how funny this was. And I spoke with my wife yesterday. Last night, I wasn't going to cook because I had the baby and everything. It was crazy. And I'm like, hey, I just need to order food. As I'm looking down, I see a Harvey's ad on TV.
Yeah. You ordered Harvey's.
I ordered A&W because I saw the burger. I'm like, I don't want Harvey's. I want A&W. So they, I was thinking they basically helped promote some similar idea. But it was like, we just had a laugh about that because it was like a clear Harvey's commercial. I don't even know if we have Harvey's here, but I was just like, I want an A&W burger, and that's what I ended up getting from there. Cross promotion, I guess.
We'll wrap it up. If you guys are not subscribed, which I'm sure all of you are, but if you're not subscribed to Brandon's channel, Brandon and Marc's channel, I should say, not just your channel. You gave up part of your channel. It's
still Brandon's channel.
The name says me, but it's
exactly. We'll put a link below. Subscribe to that. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, obviously, and we'll see you in the next video.